watching the JNN,
the Jewish News Network.
For tonight's broadcast, we'll be doing a special Q&A segment. You send in your questions,
and we have the answers. Our first question is from Lotka Goldstein, who asks, what is the significance of Judaism originating as a monotheistic religion?
It's a good question, Lotka. You see, in that time, Judaism was the only monotheistic religion around.
Interest.
Curtis Jenkins from Tallahassee asks, could you explain the migratory nature of Israel from Abraham to Solomon?
Sure, Curtis. Abraham originally moved his family from Ur to the Promised Land. Then they moved to Egypt with Joseph, came back to the Promised Land after persecution with Moses. After a while, they were forced to leave due to persecution by people such as the Babylonians, but finally came back and remain to this day.
Very informative.
This next one's from Levi Goldberg in New York, who asks, what is the significance of the Ten Commandments?
Well, you see, the Ten Commandments were given to Moses by God, and they're used even today as the basis for the Jewish legal system and moral code all around the world.
Fascinating.
Rick Tamlin from San Diego would like to know, what is the Torah?
Well, Rick, the Torah is a collection of the most important scriptures in the Hebrew Bible and contains the first 5 books of the Old Testament. And now we go to our field reporter for sports.
I'm Joseph Greer for JNN Sports. Back to you.
Alright, I'm here with Joseph and Andrew for the lightning round. Let's get started.
He is the father of Israel and the founder of Judaism.
Is it Abraham?
That is correct. Next question.
He led the Jews to freedom from the Egyptians.
Moses.
That is also correct. Alright, third question.
He could interpret dreams and had a multicolored coat.
Is it Josephus?
I'm sorry, that is incorrect. Andrew, would you like to steal?
Yes, I would. I say Joseph.
That is correct. Alright, Andrew, for the win. Last question.
He was a wise king and built the first temple in Jerusalem.
Solomon.
That is correct. We have our winner. That's all for the lightning round. And now for our final question. This one's from Rain Wilson in Scranton, who asks us to explain the origins of Passover and Hanukkah.
Well, you see, when the Jews were being held captive by the Egyptians, God sent 10 plagues upon the land. The final plague, the death of all firstborn children, was to be spared from anyone who smeared lamb's blood on their front door. Knowing of this, all the Jewish children were spared, and so they celebrate this passing over annually around the globe.
And Hanukkah is a celebration of the victory of the Maccabees over the Greeks and the rededication of the Jewish temple. Fascinating stuff, right, Daniel?
I'll say.
Where'd you get those? Well, that wraps up tonight's broadcast.
This has been a production of JNN,
the Jewish News Network.
Stay classy, Israel.
From the time you're born to the time you're in the grave, you'll be learning about Moses freeing them slaves. It's not the Quran and it's not the Bible. The Torah's the best, it ain't got no rival. The Jewish boy to the Jewish man, a yarmulke on his head and a dreidel in his hand. The Jewish boy to the Jewish man, a yarmulke on his head and a dreidel in his hand. From the time you're young, you are reading the Torah, reading Hebrew text, light the light of your menorah. In the winter, you be celebrating Hanukkah. At all times on your head there's a yarmulke. The Jewish boy to the Jewish man, a yarmulke on his head and a dreidel in his